friends. Today we have Seetaram, who is one of our applied AI course students. Seetaram, thank you very much for taking the time to share your learning journey, which is fairly unique and interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
So
Thank you
cool.
so much.
Cool. So let me give a little background so that everybody has the context. Then we'll go into your interview experiences and things like that.
Sure.
So Seetaram just joined as a data science intern at this company called Zscaler, or also spelled as Zscaler, which is a cloud information security company based out of Silicon Valley. They're also a publicly traded large company now. I think they're about a $40–50 billion company now. So as part of his campus placement, Sitaram got placed for a full-time data scientist role, like a fresher data scientist right out of college. But the company also gave him the option to also do a 6-month internship in his final semester. So he's currently doing the internship, on track to become a full-time employee once he completes. Just a quick note, Zscaler is a very interesting Silicon Valley startup, I think a decade ago. I think they started around 2006, 2007, and they've grown massively. So their compensations are comparable to your top product-based companies. And Seetaram is currently pursuing his BTech while also doing his internship in computer science at Graphicera University. So with that background, Seetaram, let's get into your interview experiences, your learning journeys, because I hope this will help a lot of undergraduate students realize that even as a fresher, you can get into interesting data science roles at good product-based companies.
Sure.
Cool. So let's get into your interview experiences right away. So can you walk us through what interviews were there, given that you're a fresher BTech computer science student? What interviews were there? What is the hardness? Let's go into the details of that.
Yes. So there were total of 4 rounds, of which first and second round were like first round was completely based on aptitude and reasoning and verbal. So that was easy. Second round was pure.
Sorry to cut you, but what was the level of aptitude questions? Were they like CAT level or were they easier? What was the level of hardness?
No, sir, they were not that much hard. If we know basic, like they were based on number systems, ratios, percentages, and graphs. Math. Yes, sir, school math. Yes. Okay. So they were easy, and some verbal questions like based on some vocabulary and all that. After that, second round was based on coding. They gave us coding question like. They gave us 2 option choice actually. One was CNN classification, and second was like hyperparameter tuning. So that is a logistic regression problem.
So you can either choose machine learning or a deep learning problem and solve it using the toolbox of your choice.
Yes, sir. Anyone we can solve either of those. So
and you're given a data set correspondingly.
Yes, sir. We the data set was already loaded. So they just wanted to check that do we know some coding related to data science or not. So
I think you have done, I think all the machine learning assignments, and I think you have done 2 or 3 deep learning assignments till now, right?
Yes, sir. So and there was also a choice question like for hyperparameter tuning. Hyperparameter tuning was separate. One was logistic regression. Pure logistic regression without using any sklearn libraries and all that.
Oh, so you have to implement a logistic regression from scratch. Sir. Oh, that's exactly our assignment, right?
Yes, sir. That's exactly was our assignment. So and they gave us like a
CNN. Were you also expected to implement a CNN from scratch, because that's harder?
Sir. No, sir. They just wanted us to the one data set was loaded like cat dog data set, simple cat dog data set. So images were already loaded and all that, and all the processing was done. We just were expected to write the code where we write like we initialize a model like sequential.
So you can use Keras or PyTorch and build it using those libraries.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Because implementing a CNN from scratch is much harder.
No, sir. We can use Keras library for that. So it was like 10 lines of code, I guess. So I did all those 3 questions, and because I already did the same exact assignment.
So the 3 questions were implement logistic regression for from scratch.
Yes, sir.
The second was build a deep learning classifier using Keras or PyTorch. Third is a hyperparameter tuning.
Yes, sir. Third is like just optional, and that was hyperparameter tuning part.
You have done most of these in assignments anyway.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have done 3 questions in assignments as part of our assignment. So I was they were very easy, and I did them. So actually, I was preparing for mock interview, as I was telling you before. So I
Yeah, so
was
I think
like,
you finished 15 assignments and you are revising for mock interview when
yes,
this
sir.
interview happened. Okay.
And I was like, okay, let's give the real actual test first, so that I will be ready. And I never gave a interview or test before. Even I haven't applied for software roles or whatever. So I didn't have any experience prior. So I was like, okay, I'm going to interview with Applied AI, so I have to be more rigorous. So I applied for this role, and I got selected in these two first rounds, and then I got some confidence, and I told my parents that okay, the written part is now done. Now there will be interviews, and in the first interview they asked about like the case studies which we have done in our as part of our course. So I mentioned that we have done one thing I done is whenever you said like do end-to-end projects of our case studies. So I did that. I was very intrigued by taxi demand prediction
So
problem.
you took the case study that we have explained and extended it and implemented it end to end from scratch.
Yes, sir. For the taxi demand also, I prepared a small Flask API using Flask API, a small website like thing, and I deployed it in Heroku. And
Very good.
for Quora question pair also, I made a small website like to ask some question, and I will show similar questions to
So
that
did you
and all
build
that.
these websites in Streamlit or just using simple Flask API?
Streamlit, sir. No,
Streamlit.
no, sir. For taxi demand, I used like Flask API to simply build a very small app like thing. For Quora question pair and Microsoft malware assignment, I did like I used Streamlit to build a small one-page website like thing.
Perfect. Perfect.
And I deployed these three in Heroku, and I uploaded it in to GitHub to showcase them. Like I've done this, and that's what they caught eye of the interviewer, and they asked me about Microsoft malware assignment in the first interview round.
Because this company
And
is also in information security, right?
yes, sir. So they asked me whole about it. Like they started the interview and asked me about few personal questions like where are you from and all that. After that, they said, okay, go on with this project. I want to hear about it in detail. So I was like, okay, I started and I explained them thoroughly. Like I also used Dask actually for Microsoft malware assignment. And
Because we are operating on large scale data and you can use
yes, sir.
multi-core and stuff like that.
And I was stubborn that I will definitely run it on my laptop, whatever. So I will not use Google Colab or.
So for the malware detection assignment, you
Yeah.
implemented using Dask.
Yes, sir. So
good.
because my system won't support that much huge data, so I had to use Dask or some other library.
Very good choice.
Yeah. So it took me some time. Like it took me 1 week to complete this assignment, but it was completely worth it. I can now implement any algorithm in Dask using Dask and support it through Dask. So I understood what this. I came from computer science background, so I understand how distributed system works and all that. I was introduced to Hadoop and all systems also, so it was very easy to pick up Dask for me. So yeah, that was and I reduced the time. Like you mentioned that in the notebook also, like don't run this block if unless if it is necessary. It will take 48 hours time to run. So that I made to 3 hours. I brought the time to 3 hours
Using Dask and the distribution that Dask supports.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good.
So
Very good.
that was really rewarding and really motivating for me.
Also, that helps you stand out in an interview, right?
Yes.
Right. You have taken initiative and you said if you don't use any distributed system libraries like Dask, it takes about 48 hours. And 95% of our students do that. When they ask us, we say use Dask. Let's try to do it. But most people don't put in the effort, and the effort that you've put in paid you enormously in the interviews because you're showing initiative, right, to solve real problems.
Yes.
Very nice.
So and also I wanted to use like I gone through like Kaggle forums, as you said, and top solutions. I went through top solutions and all that, and I wanted to try all the solutions they tried. So that gave me in-depth knowledge on what the problem was and how to tackle it. And that was all the first round. So they gone through and this entire project in the first round and nothing else. So he was satisfied with my answer and he said, okay, well, and I got selected to the next round. So the final round was like he asked me about two projects actually. So these are also case studies, which was graph data. One is Facebook friend recommendations system, and second was taxi demand prediction problem, because that is the only time series problem that I have done at that time.
And you have also improvised the solutions that we have discussed in the class, productionized all these. Perfect,
yes, sir.
Perfect.
Yes, sir. So they've asked me about those two projects, and also they've asked me like what is the difference between batch normalization and SGD. Sorry, yes, batch gradient descent and stochastic gradient descent. And what is ADAM? Why it is better than ADA delta, RMS prop, and some other optimizers, and some basic like deep learning questions. And then he went on asking about these two projects in depth, because and interviewer also said that they are working on a problem which is similar to Facebook friend recommendation graph data. So he wanted to know more about it and all the features I used and all that. So I explained him thoroughly that all the features that we took,
all
like
the graph theoretic features that we discussed in the
yes,
course.
sir.
Very good.
And
very good.
that case study was totally focused on features and how much features are important for us, and how many features we can generate, and what types of features we can incorporate. And I also explained the matrix factorization features that you mentioned in the case study videos. So he was intrigued by that, and from there he went on towards unsupervised learning. When I mentioned that I have also used like SVD features and matrix factorization features, he was like, okay, what is SVD, and why, how is matrix factorization works, what is matrix factorization and all that. And he also and in the second interview was a quite lengthy one. It took me like 1 hour, I guess. So he also focused on unsupervised learning algorithms like clustering. So he asked me to explain k-means, full on k-means algorithm. So I was explaining as I was explaining taxi demand prediction, I mentioned k-means, that we used k-means to cluster the areas and all that. So he was like, okay, these are all follow-up questions one by one.
So whenever you said I've used a technique, they would dive into it. I think that's the strategy that they're employing.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
So
very good.
I mentioned k-means, so he was like, okay, what is k-means? And I said, when I was explaining the taxi demand prediction, I mentioned the same thing that you mentioned in the video while explaining it, like k-means will result in evenly spread clusters, globular shaped clusters. And he was like, why does k-means result in this? And is there any alternative for k-means, so that there could be better initialization and all that? So I mentioned, okay, there is one like k-means plus plus and other algorithms and other extensions of k-means. And then he was like, what is, okay, this is all good, but is there any other alternative for k-means, like not k-means extensions? Yes, sir. So if he wanted to test like if we want to cluster like based on density, so what algorithm would you prefer? So I then said that, okay, there is an algorithm like dbscan which we can use for that purpose. And then he went on like, okay, what is dbscan, explain it to me.
So then anything that you have said, they wanted to test whether do you understand or you just blabbering these terms.
Yes, sir. Yes,
good
sir.
Good. That's a typical sanity check for a fresher, to make sure that you know the basics of what you're saying that you have used or you claim you know.
Yes, that's
Very
it.
good.
And then I explained these algorithms and he was satisfied, and that was my
very good. Very good. Very good. So Seetaram, let's change tracks a little. I also wanted to understand your learning journey. Yes. Right. So what was your learning journey as an undergraduate student? How did you take time out of your regular coursework and college work to learn. And I think you completed 18 or 19 assignments till now, right?
Yes.
So
Sir.
how did you prioritize both of them, and how did you spend time here?
Sir, I started early, in my sixth semester, I guess. Yes, sixth semester. As my sixth semester started, I enrolled in this course, and that was the best thing happened to me. Literally, I was going through some LinkedIn profile requests that came to me. So before accepting that, and I found a workshop from that the person did from Applied AI. So I was like, what is this and all that. I was going through that, and I went to your website through that profile, and I gone through like syllabus, and I was flattered by the syllabus, and immediately I called one of the team and asked that, is this really true, is this what you're offering for us? And they said yes. Are you interested? And I was like, I asked my father. I was already enrolled in specialization in machine learning and artificial intelligence in our university.
Got it.
But they were not teaching us properly, sir, to be
No,
frank.
let's say probably they're teaching the basics.
Yes,
like
sir.
at undergraduate level, it's hard for faculty members also to teach too much because they don't have time, right?
Yes, sir. So there was no math basically. So I was not interested. I'm a math student, and I'm so much into mathematics. So there was no mathematics. So that was not really interesting to me at first. But when I found your course, the maths and the base you started up with, like linear algebra, probability, and all that, that took me like, okay, this is what I want.
But
So
throughout your learning journey, right, how much time
yes.
were you spending on daily basis or weekly basis, both for assignments and the course content in general?
I spent a lot because I went through first. I kind of went like depth first search. Even though you mentioned like breadth is important, go on with breadth. But I guess that's because of my age and maturity
different
at that
people
level.
have different learning strategies and curiosities. We do see a lot of undergraduate students typically go depth first and then realize it's too deep, come back
Yes,
and
sir.
then do breadth. Fair enough.
Yes, that's what happened to me. So first 6 months I spent like I watched through linear algebra of Gilbert Strang from MIT course.
Very
That
phenomenally
was
good lectures.
yes, sir. Those were the best videos I watched till today. And after that, calculus of from the same MIT videos, like I went through. Whenever I came across calculus in your course, I complete them first, and then I'll go
into
to
more
MIT.
advanced
Yes, sir.
undergraduate level math or graduate
Yes,
level.
sir. Because math was not taught to us that rigorously in computer science. They just focused on some interpolation and all that, but they haven't focused on calculus part that much.
Yes.
And I completed calculus rigorously, like multivariable calculus and all that first. And that gave me very strong base foundation. And from then onwards, this took me a long time. And after that, there were some problems due to COVID in our family. So 3 months were lost in that. And after that, again, after 6 months were done there. So I just had like 6 months, and I just completed first module. And then I realized.
Okay. Now I get it. Okay. So you had to
I
speed up then.
Yes, sir. I had to
Yeah,
speed
that's
up
the
and
challenge of depth first.
I had to complete this fast, and there was not really much time left. So I was like, okay, I will spend all the time to this course. And so because I can pick up any subject within 1 week before exams, and I did that. So I spent from morning to evening, like I used to sit and watch your videos and
because
understand.
you had lesser amount of time to complete.
Yes, sir. So that's why I didn't apply to any of the placements that were going on in my campus, which were related to software roles. So because I didn't wanted to waste time on that, and application filling process was taking a long time, like 1 hour, 2 hours, and I have to fill up the same thing over and over again. And
got it.
And I know in my heart that I was not ready for those positions, and I was not
so you
really.
were clear that you wanted to get into a data science machine learning.
Yes, sir. So at that point, I messaged you like, sir, this is what I'm feeling, and I really want your advice. So you replied me with a voice message that you first crack 1 or 2 software roles, then you will get off that pressure off your head, and then you can focus more. Then I was like, okay, so I will apply for one job and I'll check. And I applied for Infosys and I got the job.
Okay.
So I was
And then
okay.
you said, okay, I have one job there.
I have one job and
my
I
risk is mitigated.
Yes, sir, I'm good. So I focused entirely on this course, and I gave 100%. Like each day, I used to spend 8 hours at least on the course
For
because
about 3-4 months.
Yes, sir, for about 4 months, 4-5 months.
4-5 months. Got it. So yes. I had another question for you, which is, what suggestions would you give to undergraduate students who are either in their second or third year, right? On
Yes.
How they can learn AI, machine learning as a fresh, as an undergraduate student, right? And prepare for careers as soon as they graduate. What suggestions will you give to them, or even to your one-year juniors, right? Or even to your peers who are currently in the final year?
Yes. So if you are in second year or third year, this is the high time for you to start because it is you may think that there is a lot of time and all that, but you will realize that there is a lot to cover to get to the point where the current research is going on and the current work is being done. So please start early if you are in second and third year, and start with maths. Don't neglect mathematics, because that really opened many ideas to me, that gave me a different understanding of each algorithm and how it works and all that. Many of my peers thought that like maths, why are you studying that much depth maths? It's not required. But I came across every single math application in machine learning, sir. Like every topic,
everything that we learn in our school
sir.
days also, like linear algebra, probability, statistics,
yes, sir.
calculus,
Every single
all
thing.
maxima, minima, everything comes into play here.
Yes, sir. So that was really
I think
interesting.
Except complex numbers, I think we use most of these concepts.
Yes, sir. So that was really interesting for me to see maths applications in this, and I always wanted to be a researcher in future also. So to join R&D department of some company and do research work.
Again,
so
depth of mathematics is helpful, whether you're in applied aspects of data science or in research aspects. It will take you a long way. Yes. I mean, more depth never hurts in the long run.
So that is one advice I'll give, and spend more time and be clear what you want. Don't be like if you be clear at first only, like what you want, what your aim is, then it will be easy to focus all your energy onto it, then spread your energy to 1 or 2 things at the same time.
But also de-risk yourself, have one software developer job. That's what I think I always recommend. Even in my audio reply to you, I think that's what I said. Have one backup, then focus all your energies on what you want.
Yes, sir.
Perfect, Seetaram. Perfect. Thank you, Seetaram. Thank you very much for taking the time. Super happy to hear your successful journey. Keep digging deeper, keep learning harder concepts, because that will help you become a very good researcher in the long term. So all the very best, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.